Hey, it's July the 2nd, 2019, and we're on Power Play Radio Network.com and Power TV. And I'm your host, Kevin.
I'm your girl, Kasiva.
And you're listening to My Better Half.
On PowerPlayRadioNetwork.com, and you're also watching us on Power TV.
And we have a great show. We have a little late start, but we have a great show tonight. And we have none other than our friend. I would call him my son. We have Eric Dixon, and we're going to have a great time, and we're going to see what he's been doing since the last time he was here. And he's made a lot of career moves, and he has a lot of events going on. And we're just going to talk about family, career, and we're going to talk about business. And so we're going to get right to our program. We're going to introduce our guest. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
So what's been going on since the last time? Tell the audience, because our audience has grown since the last time you was here. So tell them a little bit about yourself.
Like you said, my name's Eric Dixon. I'm a contemporary gospel artist from Fort Worth, Texas. I'm originally from West Texas, a little town called Vernon, but I relocated here as a kid and basically called it my home. Since the last time I was here, a lot of things has changed. You know, last time I was here, I had 2 boys. Now I have a little girl that'll be born in October. Music-wise,
A boy, I thought you said you was having a girl.
it's a girl.
Oh, okay.
Music-wise, you know, I basically, at first I said I was gonna just work this whole year and then just focus on music next year. But when I went to the Barnes' program and I was talking to their young man, I was telling him, you know, when you have a dream, you have to follow it. And
Right.
you have to stick to it no matter what nobody say. You know, don't give up. I went home and I changed my own perspective. You know, I said, well, okay, let me go and reevaluate myself. Because I just told him he can't give up on his dreams, so let me not give up on mine. You know, and I told God, you know, you put it out there, I'll go get it. I looked on the internet and America's Got Talent sent me an email, said they were coming to Dallas. I applied. 2 days later, they sent me a confirmation with my ticket. So that was a big step.
So for our listening audience, you know, we want to roll it back a little bit because a lot of people don't know your story. You know, a lot of times when they see artists, you know, and I like unsung stories. And a lot of people don't know what you actually had to go through, you know, to get where you are now. And that's one of the reasons why we have you sometimes talk to some of our young people, because you tell them about your journey and your story. And a lot of people think that they have it hard, you know, trying to break into the business or trying to, you know, capitalize on their dreams. But sometimes dreams come, they come with probably the most awkward way. You know, sometimes you got to go through a nightmare before your dreams come true. So tell them a little bit about, you know, your story.
So go back to when I was a kid. You know, at the age of 11, I was in an accident. I got hit by a car, and it cut my neck, broke a lot of bones, and I was told that I had to be resuscitated 3 times. I was put on life support. After I think the 3rd day or the 4th day, my mom decided to take me off when the doctor told her that they did all they can do. When they took me off, I started breathing on my own. I was in a coma for 2 weeks. I spent half of my 5th grade year in the hospital. I went to school in the hospital. You know, being segregated in my own room at times because I was contagious. You know, I couldn't go out with the other kids, play, be a kid. I started, you know, being to myself and thinking, what is the point of me being here?
Did you have any kind of memory loss or motor skills loss?
I had to learn how to walk again, but they said that I was going to be, you know, on the back end of everything. But somehow, you know, through the grace of God, I wasn't. I came out, I passed class, I was on top of my class. I graduated high school early. I did everything that they said I wasn't able to do. I did. You know, to me that was like God. So he told me when I was, you know, in a coma, to me he told me that he had a purpose for me. So growing up, I always felt like I was different.
Prior to your accident, what were you doing?
I was just being a kid, out running the streets, playing, being hard headed, and nothing. I wasn't singing. I wasn't doing anything. I barely wanted to go to church. I had to go to church every Sunday and Wednesday, but I didn't.
Did you ever sing in church?
No.
You did?
That's
wait. But could you sing and you just didn't sing?
No. So I was singing in the choir, but they, I stopped because they would never let me lead a song because I couldn't sing that good. So I was always the background singer. I got tired of being the background singer, so I just didn't sing at all.
Were you aspiring to sing? Because I directed a group for 30 years, and it was always people that I always looked at singers. There were some people who could carry the whole song by themselves.
Yeah.
Those are people that can break out and be a solo singer because they can carry it the whole. But you have groups sometimes that are like they partner together, and they're not a full soloist because after a while you get tired of them because they don't have a personality with it. So they kind of clean up at the end. You got those clean up people at the end of songs. The crescendo people. And you got people that are leading and somebody else come and kick in. And that makes them a team. So you have like the OJs. Elliot Burke can carry it. Walter don't sing a lot of songs all the way through, but he compliments him, and they work together. They never let the other guy sing. He background.
Yeah, that was me.
He background. But as a group, it worked. So sometimes in a group, sometimes you have those secret weapons back there. People that you never know they can sing. They're so used to background. Then you become a skilled background. I know people that can background can't lead. And then people that lead can't background. So when you get somebody that can do it both and then right, then yeah, you can go out on your own.
Yeah, I was one of those. I wanted to lead. They wouldn't let me lead. So, I just, they always say, well, you can sing, but not that good. But okay, so I went home. I learned about the shower, the echo, the reverb,
Right.
And then I started mimicking other artists like Chris Brown growing up, some Music Soul Child, that love song. That was the first song I ever learned how to sing. And when I learned that if I listened to myself in the shower, I try to match his pitch. And once you sing it enough, your voice will accustom to it, and it'll just be natural. When you hear it, you can mimic it. And that's what I did.
Well, hold on.
I didn't know that.
No.
Oh, so I need to go get in the shower and start singing my song.
No.
Next time you see me, I'm gonna be singing, Eric.
But that's a gift.
Yeah,
You can do that. That's a gift. You can do
that.
that.
So it was like, my mom used to tell me all the time, be quiet, shut up. Don't quit singing, get out the shower. But it was always me. I was going there running.
Because that was your recording booth.
Yeah, that's the only place I can feel myself.
Right.
So,
Well, see, there's a lot of people in the shower and they're singing, but they just getting wet. You was in their recording booth, so you took many a shower because I want to hear myself in this.
Yeah, and I always, I go in there, I wouldn't get in the shower, I just turn the water on. They think I'm in the shower. I'm
right.
there singing. I ain't got in yet.
So since I've been in the shower a long time, I'm gonna start practice singing.
Hey man, let me correct this, man, for our audience, man. Don't go in there and try that.
I'm gonna practice singing.
Don't go in there and try that.
Then growing up, once I turned 15, I graduated high school at 16. I went to college, and then my cousin was like, "Hey man, we should start this group. I know this dude from the record label, Flow Naughty Records. It was the R&B record label." I was like, "All right, bro, I'm good. We can do the group thing." I was shy then. I sing full fledged by myself, but when I get in front of people, it's like, man, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I broke myself out of it, And then so I went with the group thing. Yeah, just like you said, some people they want to lead, some people can't lead but want to lead.
Right.
And then so it was always a confrontation. Like, well, you singing the lead all the time. Well, I wrote the song, so that's how I wrote it.
Right. That's how I wrote it.
So, I can only do it the way that I write it.
Right.
So if you want to be lead, then you need to put a part in it. But nobody wanted to write.
And and there are other artists that can write for other people. They can't sing it, but they can write it for other people. That's Rod Temperton song where he played with Heat Wave. He wrote Always and Forever, but he wrote Michael Jackson songs too on Thriller. So he could write for other folk. He had an ear to write for other people. But sometimes when you write your own songs, they sound better.
If
you know,
sing it, because
when you sing it.
you know how you arranged it.
Yep.
Right.
So when I left that group, I said to myself I was gonna stop doing music. But then God came to me one night. He was like, "No, do your music. You love R&B so much. I'm gonna do you a favor. Bring your R&B to my gospel and create you a new sound."
Yeah, but what you call it? I've seen people that do R&B gospel. Yours, it's in my wife. See, me and my wife, we listen to R&B different. She listened to what's the station you listen to? What, the 48? Yeah.
Soul Town.
I listen. No, I listen to Soul.
I listen to Soul Town.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
I listen to Soul Town.
I listen to the R&B back in the day. R&B.
I do too.
Motown,
That's what you're talking about.
Stax Records. I listen. That's what I call.
On series.
Yeah, I call it R&B. The new R&B, the new Jack Swing R&B is stuff that she listened to, but yours has yours is a different. It's like a different mixture.
He
almost.
He just says gospel meeting R&B.
So,
but what I'm saying is it engages the hip hop generation. They listen to it.
Yeah.
Because of that beat.
The feel.
That beat is not in Motown.
Nah.
No, that's what I'm saying. That beat is not in Motown.
And that's what I do. I look for to me, all my songs start with the beat. If I find a beat that's catchy to me, I'll go through YouTube all day and just listen. But when I come to that one, I'll listen to it. Then if it'll come to me, like it's to the point down to where I don't write. I go in my studio and I just hit record and then I start singing. I let the song form itself. I listen to the beat over and over all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then so if you have to redo it because you might have messed up,
But
how you gonna know what you said?
If the song, that's why I stopped writing, because you can write anything, but when you actually singing it and it comes out naturally, then you won't forget it because that's how you feel.
So what do you do? I mean, because I used to write songs. So what do you do first? Do you hear the verse, which is I'm writing, I hear the verse, or you hear the music, or you hear the hook?
No, so I listen to the music. And then, when I do music, I always listen to it over and over. I'll listen to it for 2 days before I actually come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way God works. He won't do it when you want him to, but once I listen to it, he'll always throw the hook out. The hooks have to be the first. That's what catch the eye.
Right.
The hooks have to mean something.
Right.
In order for them to feel what you're saying. And then the verses come naturally.
Yeah.
Once
they
you
come
the
naturally.
verses are automatically, this is what you have to talk
Yeah.
about. This is what you go through. If you go through it, somebody else in the world going through the same thing you're
Right.
going through.
Do you stack your music?
Yeah. I try to keep it as in today's generation, the R&B hot, the feel. But at the end of the day, so I stack the chords like 3-4 times to give it that full effect
Right.
and the harmony. I don't do groups, so I harmonize myself.
Yeah, right.
I train myself to the 3 harmonies or the 4-part harmony, and then like my verses, they have to mean something. So if I can do this and throw this harmony in on the verse to make it catchy, then that's what I'll do.
Because I look at artists, successful artists. I always talk about Gladys Knight. She sung about her divorce. Whitney Houston sung about the man she couldn't have. Aretha talked about the man that was treating her wrong. So that was their catalog. So in your catalog, are you like over here, over there, or do you have a central catalog of what I'm trying to project from my music?
So when I first like my first album it's called My Life. I released it in February. It's on all digital platforms. But My Life, it wasn't just my life I was talking about. I'll talk about the things that I went through and how I found God and what he did for me. But some of the songs came from me watching social media. You find problems all day.
Oh, yeah.
I see what this man going through, and God be like, well, talk about this.
Okay.
So like on one of my songs, Listen, you know, the second verse of Listen. The first verse was about me, you know, ever since that day God came into my life. But the second verse was about like my cousin, you know, he was going through problems with his ex-wife, you know, where he was like, well, he's not much of a man because he cried. You know, and they say, you know, they said a man ain't supposed to cry, but what about Jesus when he walked 1,000 miles? They tied up his hands and feet, but he held his head up high and he cried for you and me. If Jesus cried, why I can't cry?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and my grandpa always told me, real men cry.
Right.
You ain't no real man if you can't cry.
Right.
You feel like your pride's too high. So.
Yeah. So like, you know, there's solution at the back of your song. It's like dramatic solution. You can take a dramatic situation, and then at the end, people find a solution.
Right.
When you're through.
It's always positivity.
Right.
Like, and you know, they asked me the other day, well, what are you gonna say when people be like, well, that's not traditional gospel. It's not supposed to be traditional.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to break away from.
Well, you know what they call traditional gospel. They sum it up in 3 because it's in the book of Ephesians. So they'll say it's Psalms, which we don't sing, but the Psalms is lyrics. You know, so we take a little bit out of the book of Psalms and we'll make songs. You know, the Lord is my light. You know, patiently waiting. We'll take scriptures out of there and make songs, but we don't sing the whole song. Then you got hymns. You got that hymn book, Amazing Grace, Amazing on the Hilltop, and then you have spiritual songs. Those are songs that have a spiritual meaning in it. And people can't come to grips with that because that means it comes under your interpretation.
And that's crazy because I take music from all 3 of those.
Right.
The Psalms, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
The Psalms.
Yeah.
The blood of Christ came from Psalms.
Right.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil.
Right.
You know, I take words from older songs in the hymn book,
Mhm.
and I bring meaning to them because I interpret each word.
Right.
Amazing grace, you know. God's amazing grace is what brought me to where I am today. It made me the man I am.
Right.
So I take music from all 3. You know, I take music from everywhere.
Yeah.
God gave me the talent, and I found it. The interpretation of knowing what people going through and what I can say to make them feel like there's hope.
Right.
You know, hold on. The song "Hold On." You know.
Yeah. And they're just inspirational songs. I mean, The Greatest Love of All is an inspirational song. You know, but people look at gospel songs or songs that's sung in church, you know, like in worship, praise, and then there's worship songs, and then there's inspirational songs for that guy that's on the street out there. So your music has to, you know, the scope of it has to touch and be all things to all people, and that's hard for artists to do because sometimes they're just one-dimensional. And country, then you limit it. Country until what's the guy that's when he had the guy that's doing the rap now with the country. You know, I'm looking like
I don't know his name. Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
that.
I'm looking like, come on, what we doing?
Yeah,
I'll tell.
you know, and it's crazy because when he came out with Horses in the Back, the remix, everybody was on to it. And then when he came out with his other EP, it was like, well, this ain't the country that we heard when he came out.
Right.
Now they try to categorize you.
They're categorizing now.
One
Right.
genre.
Right, and they keep doing that. You know, they keep, you know, blowing up this music into other categories. You know, because you don't fit, so let me make you another category. And some of them don't never really catch because they put you outside of it. Like Neo Soul. They put that out. It's like, you know, Jill Scott's music. You know, that has it has a cult following, but mainstream, you won't hear it played a lot. But she has a following with it. But they put it outside. Well, it ain't R&B, it ain't hip hop. Let's call it this. You know, and it's good sometimes because now you own it. It's good to be put out there because now you own it. You know, because sometimes you get crabs in a bucket. So that's what I see when I listen to your music. I said, well, there's nobody else doing this. And after a while, somebody's gonna say, yeah, nobody else is doing this. And that's probably why the guy's calling him. I gotta hear you. You know, it's almost like I gotta see you because nobody else is doing
Yeah,
this type of music.
that's what he said. When I called him, he was like, "Oh, hey Eric, it's good to meet you on the phone. Now I can't wait to meet you in person."
Right.
He's like, "Man, I heard you on Gospel Ground Radio," and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, we got to get this guy. This is something different."
Right.
When I did the show at June 10th Festival at Tarrant County College, the lady pulled me to the side. She was like, "We got this youth gospel explosion in August for Fort Worth," and she was like, "Well, we want to do something different this year. We don't want the same thing, and what you have is different that hasn't been heard before. So we would love for you to come out and be part of our program."
Mm-hmm.
I tell them all, like, if I'm available, then I'll go.
Right. Well, we're going to take a break and for a few minutes, and so don't you all leave. We'll be right back with Eric Dixon.
Hey, Steve, Diane. Are we all?
Hey, we're back and we're on PowerPlayRadioNetwork.com and Power TV. I'm your host, Kevin,
I'm your girl, Cassiva,
and you're listening to My Better Half.
on PowerPlayRadioNetwork.com, and you're also watching us on Power TV.
And we have Eric Dixon in the studio with us, and we are talking about some of the events that he's going to be doing from now to the end of the year, actually. And when we went on break, we were talking about him being accepted to America's Got Talent.
But he got to remember he got to start here.
Yeah, you got to start.
Yeah, when he first was trying to come out.
Yeah, from
with his
Vernon,
songs.
Texas, and came here on Power Play, on My Better Half, and he just wowed us. And now he is
He's like
a family man, and he has a business and also his career. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that. How's family?
He's blowing up.
They're good. You know, kids, the older they get, the more they remind me of me as a kid. You know, I'm always hard headed. Couldn't tell me nothing.
I saw your son push you in the pool.
Yeah, that type of stuff. You know? But you know, I try to teach my kids the same way I was taught. You know, you have to work for what you want. You know, all my kids, both of my sons, they love singing. So I'm gonna do for them what I didn't have done for me. When they get of age, I'm gonna start teaching them. You know, you can do this, you can do this. I'm gonna put them in vocal lessons.
You can teach them now.
And they do it now.
Yeah, because some
my
kids.
2-year-old, you put on Holy Ghost Party, he'll sing the whole.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Some kids can hold a tune right now.
My oldest son, I did a cover song of "This Ain't No Ordinary Worship," and then I seen a video of him where he's sitting on his bed and he got his headphones on and he's singing it. You know?
You see the guy. You see the guy now. He's going viral. That was sitting up talking to his child. They were watching Empire.
Yeah, and the baby
And he
was
sit up there,
born,
talking to him like it's there, you know.
Conversation.
Yeah, you know, and nobody's really done the thing with the child, the 2-year-old, singing with him.
Yeah.
So you might need to try that.
Then, you know, he to the point now to where, you know, and that's good because it's teaching him words. It's teaching him how to say words, even though it's words in my song. He can use those words throughout life. And, you know, I took my oldest son home today, and he told his mom, he's like, when I get old enough, I'm gonna go work with my daddy so I can get some money. You know, yesterday I seen a kid. We were mowing the yard. I seen the kid cutting the grass. He was talking to the man, and then I guess when the man told him, he ran up the street to his house, got his lawnmower, and pushed it down.
Right.
I told my worker, I said, man, I remember that was me when I was a man. And all his brothers was playing basketball, everybody, but he was that one who wanted to go get that money. My brother wanted to go with his friend. I was always the one pushing my lawnmower up and down the street, or I'll walk down, hey man, you know, I can't weed eat, but I can mow your grass for $15. You know, I can cut the front and back for you, you know. So when I seen him, and then what really made me stop what I was doing, you know, I stopped the yard I was cutting. Then I went to my trailer, and got the backpack door and took it to him. He was over there sweeping the sidewalk with a broom. And that was me this year. I mean, that was me last year when I first started my corporation.
Right.
When I got the group home. You know, I had a push lawnmower, a weed eater from the pawn shop, and I was using a push broom. So I was like, man, you know, you can use this blower. So his mom was watching. She came off the porch. She didn't know what was happening. She seen her son with a backpack blower now, so she was doing a video. So, you know, it's all about what I want to do for my kids. So I see somebody else's kids, so I seen where he was going. And, you know, so I was like, I stopped the yard I was doing. I helped him weed eat his yard, because he didn't know how, remember I said he didn't know how to weed eat, so he was just mowing the yard. So I weed eated his yard. And then my other guy came over and helped weed eat. They was all watching us. They didn't know what was going on. But when I got done, I told him, I gave him $20. You know, this is for you, because I was you at one time, and what I see you doing. If you keep doing what you're doing, you can be where I am.
Right.
You can own your own corporation. His mom came. She was like, "Thank you for teaching." You know, he don't have nobody to do that, but he do this all day. So for my kids, my son to see, he said, "You gave him some money." You know, yeah. When you get old enough, you come work for me. You work for your money, and I'll give you some money. So when he went home. This one, he was like, when I get 10, I'm gonna work with my daddy so he can give me some money. So that shows me that he remembered that from yesterday.
Right. And that's the way that guy.
And that's what's gonna teach him. Well, if I work, I know I get money.
And you know, when you came over to the camp the other day and you talked to that young guy. Oh, now he walked out there with his chest all poked out, and he was so proud that you gave him that music. And he's like, I'm going home, I'm going to sing this, and I got my beat ready for him when he come back. So, you know, that's a good thing you inspire kids, too.
And that's one of the reasons why we try to bring people in to talk to camp because, like you said, that other, young child didn't have what you're talking about. Well, I didn't have it. That don't mean I can't give it. And that's the thing people have to understand. Just because I didn't have the upbringing that I thought I should have, that don't mean I can't pass on a good one to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so, we're doing a summer camp now. A lot of kids in there, they have a defeated mentality now. That we have to really kind of get a pencil and erase, because when you ask them, are you talented? I asked one of the kids today, are you talented? No. They just say it just like that. No. Almost like I'm not good enough. So I'm looking like, how are you going to make it through this whole school system if you done internalize that? That you're going to have some regret, and then you're going to have some resistance, and then you're going to have some animosity, then you're going to have some anger, and then you're going to do something wrong because you already have defeated yourself. So it's important to have, they call it role models now, but when I was growing up, like you talking about the lawnmower, that's the way we bought our school clothes in the summer. It was just too many of us. My dad couldn't afford all that. So we got that lawnmower and we cut yards. And that's how we bought our school clothes. But sometimes, the kids think sometimes the sun rises and sets on them. And they think somebody's going to give them something. So when we bring you on, it's a good thing that you tell the audience, hey man, I went through this. I went through the bottom. And the Lord brought me up. Because sometimes when they see you at your peak, you remember coming there and the audience that you had, those kids, and you was talking to them. And sometimes, when I'm watching you talk, I'm like in the audience. And I'm watching the young people. So when you said, they pronounced me dead. Like, so the girl looked at it and said, dead? Like, yeah, but you standing here, how was you dead? She just kind of looked like, this story, I'm meeting somebody that was dead one time and now they living again. She kind of looked at it like that. That's why she questioned you, because they had never seen that. Because they probably seen people that were dead, gave up in life, and that was it. There was no rebound. So sometimes these kids don't see rebound from things like that.
And then that's why when she asked me that question, I told her how I felt I was brought back to,
right.
God is real. At the
right.
end of that statement, I said that's how I know God is real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When the doctor say he did all he can do, he stopped the bleeding, but he couldn't bring me back to life.
Right.
They got a machine breathing for me. That was
mm-hmm.
God who made me breathe on my own.
Right.
That was God who made me walk again. That was
right.
God who made me talk again. Function.
Yeah.
Come out smarter than what I was before. Come
right.
out doing things that I couldn't do before. I can do everything. They call me Jack of all trades. It ain't nothing that I can't do.
Right. Right.
I went from not knowing how to sing to singing. I went from not knowing how to remodel a house to remodeling houses. We just put up a fence 2 weeks ago. It's just things. If I want to do it, I put my mind to it. I go do it.
Right.
So we're constantly adding things to the business. We're constantly adding things to society. Things
mm-hmm.
around me.
Mm-hmm.
They walked in my house yesterday. It was like, man, you got everything. Like you got your own. I have everything. I invested in myself. When I said I wanted to do music, I learned how to mix and master. I learned how to record myself. I learned what I needed to do shows.
Right.
I got everything. If I
Mm-hmm.
want to do a show, I can do my own show.
Right.
I got microphones, PA system, duplicators. I print my own CDs, print the picture. Everything
mm-hmm.
is done myself. That way I don't have to.
You won't have to go out
I
outsource
spent my
to nowhere
money
else.
long enough to
Right.
learn what I had to do to
Right.
do it on my own.
Right.
And that's what you have to do. You have to spend your money to do what you want to do on your own. People look at it like, well, I want to get people to invest and give them. Yeah, but you don't want that, because when people start giving you money,
Yeah, when people give you stuff, they can always throw it in your face.
I always tell my wife, ain't nothing free. I keep telling her, ain't nothing free. That's why I try to tell her, I say, ain't nothing free.
Yeah, and my wife, she'll be like, you want me to buy you this clothes? Like, she tried to buy me stuff. No. My bed, I bought it. I don't have no loans. I don't owe no debt. I bought it. I started from the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody helped me. I didn't ask for no help because I don't want somebody to say, well, can I borrow this? And I
Right.
say, well, no, I can't do it. And they be like, well, I gave you this.
That's
You
right.
didn't give
Mhm.
me anything. I work for this. And I
Yeah.
tell kids now,
Mhm.
if you work for it, then you'll appreciate it more.
Right.
And then, like yesterday, one of my friends was somebody that I know. He was like, well, man, he sell drugs. He was like, well, man, they put us in this. No, they didn't put us here. We put ourselves here. They told us something, and he was like, well, they put us down here to do this. They don't want to give us good jobs. No, they don't give you good jobs because you don't go get the job. They
Right.
can't tell you what you're going to be.
Right.
They can say what you're going to
Yeah,
be.
you
It's up
fail.
to you to make up your mind on what
That's
you're
right.
going to be.
You fell for the okie doke. I hire people on my job and they have to take a drug test. And they sit there and say, yeah, I'm the person. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. And when I put that little cup on the table, I say, okay, I need your social security and your driving license. Okay, it's in the car. I know you're not coming back. I just pick it up, pick the paper like this here, and I go back to the office. I know you're not coming back. Because no one, if you want a job, you know good and well you need identification. And Social Security, you ain't got it on you, so I'm going to the car. And then I just sit there like this here, and they don't come back.
That's a
That's why
mess.
at your program, I made sure I told the kid, just because you're from the ghetto, I'm from the ghetto. I'm from
Yeah.
Eastwood of Fort Worth. From the ghetto, but I didn't let the hood make me.
Right.
I made myself. Now, I seen things and I watched things, but I learned in my mind that what I seen, I was going to utilize. I'm not going to do what they did to get where they got
Right.
put. Or I'm not going to do what they did to end up where they ended up.
Right.
Whether it's getting shot, I don't
Even-
associate
I'm not
myself-
going to even though I see it, I'm not going to justify it in my music.
Yeah,
Because that's what happens. You start to think it's a way of life. Waking up every morning, and I got to see who done shot who. And that's the thing we kind of become numb to, because now we just kind of expect it. We kind of expect it. So music is not only a ministry, but also music is information. And so if you have information in your music, then your music will stay around a long time. That's the thing about classic. If it has a message in it, it will stay around a long time. When we have to do a message in our classes and stuff, we look for the music that has a message. We through all the other stuff. I mean, I like the Isley Brothers, but we're not gonna say don't let something. We're not gonna use Voice to Atlantic. We're not gonna use that. We're gonna use something that has a social message in it, because that song is gonna stay around long, because that social message is gonna always be here. It's gonna always be here.
So they asked me yesterday, where I'm and the side of town that I'm from. They was like, well, we're proud of you. You made it out. You did what you did. It was like, if somebody asked me that, so if you make it past the first round, but you don't make it to the very end, like, how you gonna feel? I told them from the get go, it wasn't about. To me, I'm going to win, but at the end of the day, it's not about winning or losing. It's about being heard, and
Right.
the place to be heard is on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Once they hear me sing, God told me, when you open your mouth, they'll come from all over to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like him giving me this opportunity to go on America's Got Talent, this is him.
Right.
They're coming from all over to watch. Once you do one thing, they'll know about you. So whether I make it through or I don't make it through, when I leave, they'll know I was there.
And then you have your viewers,
They're
millions.
gonna look for you. They'll look you up.
Sometimes you
And
just
they post all your stuff on the TV, on the website, so they'll know you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
sometimes you're just on there for somebody else to see. Some people, like you said, go there and I'm trying to win, but sometimes it's just for somebody else to see.
Yeah, I want to be somebody else's inspiration. I said a million times, I'm not going on TV to compete for something I know how to do. But at the end of the day, I made up in my mind, I'm doing this not for them, but for me.
Mm-hmm.
If I can make up in my mind and go in here and do what I have to do and overcome what I said I wasn't going to do, somebody else might be watching, got a voice, but ain't never been heard, because if you're not
Right.
famous, then the manager told me when I called the record, he was like, man, well, to be honest, record labels not looking for new artists anymore. They look for people who already got a following. So if you don't have a following, they just gonna look over you no matter how good you are.
Right.
But if I go on TV and I let my songs be heard, because I'm gonna do all my songs. I'm not doing nobody's song but my own.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you can either like
it or
you
don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody gonna like it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, my voice will be heard, and that's all I want. I want to spread the message that God gave me for my life. And it's crazy because on my last song, Trust, that's gonna come out this year. God came to me in my dream. I dream a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All my dreams are good dreams. I'll dream a song and get up the next morning and record it before I leave.
Right.
But God was like, Eric, they'll never know your life until they first learn your struggles. So the song Trust was letting people know, I've been to where I couldn't pay my rent. I've been to where, I struggled.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I trusted in God, and He always showed up when I needed Him to.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing about letting people, tag along in your wagon, because when you hit bottom,
You see who your real friends
yeah,
are.
when you hit bottom, you're going to see,
Yep.
especially if in your purpose of what you're trying to do. So we had, like I said, we had a good time that day when you came by, and talked to those kids, because a lot of times they don't give attention to everybody that comes in there, but they want to hear somebody talk about struggle, and then talk about success and then business, and they want them to be around their age. You bring somebody in there that's 80, okay, all right, they're just gonna sit up there. But you bring somebody else that talks their language, and that's what happened with the music. People now, are out listening to artists that talk the language of these kids in music. Especially when you have a youth event. That's just their. We didn't do that. They just have their own like groove on stuff, and that's not a bad thing, because when they have some of these Hispanic youth events and stuff, they play that, and that type of music is almost in every it's trickling itself into every type of music. So it's just that it kind of like groove and sway. I'm like, okay, wait. I wish I knew. I was reading the Bible. I wish I knew there's a passage in the book of Deuteronomy where God tells Moses to write a song down. He said, Moses, write this song. Go teach it to the people. I was thinking, okay, how did he sing that? He called out the Israelites. He said, I'm trying to teach y'all a song. So you wonder how people projected what they call hymns and spiritual songs, and Jesus and the apostles sung a hymn before he went to the Garden of Gethsemane. But then we come out in the 21st century and our songs, are different. So do they change in culture?
Yeah,
Do they change in dispensation?
I guess when I was growing up as a kid, I always listened to, it was always Boys to Men,
Yeah.
It was Backstreet Boys, it was B2K, and then they just slowly started. You could watch the music industry change. Like people you used to see.
But you know what? Let me tell you why it's different. Gospel changed R&B in the 60s. It was people that came out of church and it became like Sam Cooke and Aretha and them. They were in church and came out and influenced and made R&B. But now, it's different. It's the like you listen to Backstreet Boys and all that kind of stuff. Now you influencing gospel music. It's different.
So like I heard Tank do an interview and he was like, I started in church. I started in gospel. He was like, well, they used to tell me it was a sin to sing secular music and all this, and then he was like, well, I found out on my own that what they were saying, is not true.
Mm-hmm.
Then music is music.
Yeah.
Now, you can't. But when you sing it, you always want to bring a message. It has to have something positive that you can get out of it. You know,
Mhm.
it's all, you can't sing secular music until you talking to kids, because kids are what's listening to you. You can't tell them, oh, it's okay to go, you know, have sex with this girl, you know what I'm saying? Like the music you have now, it's always.
Right.
So what I wanted to do, I wanted to bring gospel, but I wanted to bring it in a way that they can understand.
Right.
So if I do it to hip hop beats or, you know, R&B beats, but the beats that I find, they have to be right or I won't use them.
Mhm.
Like it has to catch my mind, has to catch my attention. Like, oh yeah, I can move to that. Like I got a new song that I'm working on. Well, it's already recorded. I just have to get it mastered. It's called "Whoa," you know, and it's based off the song, off the dance that they came out with, "Hit the Whoa," you know, and it basically
Never
said,
heard of that.
I said, you know, they got this new dance out called "Hit the Whoa." Well, I want to do something different this time
Mhm.
because I want to show people that it's okay for you to dance for Christ.
Mhm.
It's okay for you to dance for God. You can hit the whoa, you can do the nay nay, or you can do the shoot. But it's up to you. You know,
Yeah.
and then on this song, I'm actually rapping. I said I would never be a rapper, but God can use you at the wrong. You know,
Mhm.
He do what He want to do. All I do is follow. So when the beat came on, the words came down. But I sent it to the dude in Detroit today and let him listen to it. He was like, "Man, you really vibing on this one. Like you got the flow, you got the right concept, you got the right lyrics. Oh, when you put this out, they gonna feel it. And that's what I want. When I can send it to somebody older." And say, "Oh yeah, you gonna feel this."
Yeah, that's
That's
what
his
I'm,
purpose.
and that's what I'm talking about. Because sometimes, you know, in my generation, it's like resisting. Because like I say, I still listen. Because that was my era. I still listen to that. But I like music that has a message. Always listen for the message that's in the music. And if you're using your full talent, what I call your soul talent. Because in your soul talent, there's nobody else that's gonna do music like you do it. Not in your soul talent, because there's only one of you. So when they listen, they say, "Well, that's Eric," because that's the soul of you in that music. So that's what identifies everybody. And if people not doing that, then they're imitating. We're gonna have to take a break, and we'll be right back in about 2 minutes. And don't y'all go anywhere. We'll be back with Eric Dixon.
Hey, Belinda. Hey, Stuart. Hey, Terry. Steve.
Hey, we're back on PowerPlayRadioNetwork.com and Power TV. I'm your host, Kevin,
I'm your girl, Siva.
and you're listening to My Better Half.
On PowerPlayRadioNetwork.com, and also you can watch us on Power TV.
And we have in our studio Eric Dixon, and we just had a great time reminiscing and talking about how his career has taken off.
Yep.
And some of the events that he's going to be attending from now to the end of the year. And when we left, we talked about family and career and business and trying to juggle, especially now with kids. So you're waiting for your daughter.
Yes.
Right? I saw something that y'all already have a name.
Yes.
Sometimes, what's the difference in people already having a name now and people waiting to see?
Well,
The child.
I don't know. Like when I came up with the name, because I came up with her name, but I came up with her name because of our names. My name's Eric. My oldest son is a junior, Eric. My son after him is Aiden, and my wife's name is Amber. So everybody's A and E.
Mm-hmm.
So if I name her Aaron, you get Eric, Aaron, and then Aiden. So you get the A for Aiden, and then the Rand for Eric. It all sounds the same. So when I call it, when I say, okay, I want my kids to be named Eric, Aiden, and Aaron. So she gets a mixture of both worlds.
Okay. Because I was thinking, I said, okay, well,
What's her name?
Jesus' name,
Aaron.
he said you
Oh, your daughter's name is Aaron? Gonna be Aaron? Oh.
God said, you're gonna have a son, you're gonna call him Jesus before he was here.
I said if I have a daughter, I'm gonna call her Aaron.
Before she's here.
Because either way, it was either gonna be Aaron or Aaron. I spelled a different way for a boy, I spelled a different way for a girl.
There was a little boy at the camp, and his name was Seven. I said, who came up with that?
Quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes, what I'm saying is sometimes now, people just throw names. And so you gave the purpose of the name, why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Eric Badu son named Seven.
I said, why do they do it? For what?
They might have a reason. It might be a spiritual thing.
Well, I'm just saying, when people have, kids and stuff, because that child gonna grow up with that name, have a meaning behind it.
Yeah, just like they call their kids Denzel.
Why? Why?
But my meaning for mine was,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Have similar names
And you say everybody's gonna have an A
in
and an E.
in an R.
Yeah.
So it's Eric, Aaron. It
Right.
sounds like Eric
Right.
because you can spell it ARIC and it'd be Eric. Or you can spell Aiden, Aaron with an ARYN.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I just want it. So at the beginning, it'll have some of everybody's name in it.
Yeah.
So it was crazy because I knew from the beginning. I told her from the beginning. God said this is a girl. She was so it's a boy. I ain't have none but boys. We did the gender reveal and boom, it popped out pink. I told you from the get go. I said it for the first 5 months. It's a girl. Every day I said it's a girl. My mom was like, well, don't jinx yourself. Well, you can say what you want to say, but I know what it is. So it's a girl.
Like
Well,
me, that's what I wanted.
You're not a daddy until you have a girl.
Right. Boys are boys.
Your boy is boy. You're not a daddy. Daddy means something different coming from a girl.
Because it's a man that she looking at. I ain't talking. I'm gonna teach my daughter. I'm gonna be the example of what she needs to look.
Right.
You tell a man you don't need nothing. You don't need nothing from a man because you'll have it all. I'm gonna teach you how to become your own woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, you don't need nobody.
Right.
They're gonna have to come with more than just money.
Yep.
It's more to life than just money.
Right.
Money come and go. I spend money all the time, but it's not about money. It's about
Mm-hmm.
what can y'all build together. Like when I said I wanted to build a foundation, not I build a foundation, you come in and you just pinch off what I already did. No, you'll start something, I'll start something, then we'll build it together. You have multiple incomes, multiple different things. I tell my wife all the time, like, you want to start this, whatever you want to do, you tell me and I'll fund it so you can get started, and then we'll both be bosses.
Right.
Yeah.
Both own businesses.
That's
so when my
good.
kids get older, you know,
You can lead something.
When my kids get, I'm gonna give my kids every opportunity, from singing to playing sports to, you know, yeah. At the end of the day, they can choose what they want to be at the end of life. But I'm gonna give
Right.
them every opportunity and every experience of everything that I wish I had growing up and what I did have.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing about when you, like say, the girl is the only one in the family that you give away. You don't give away sons, but she's the only one that you give away,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to do it right. So sometimes the man's not there to give her away. She gives herself away, and that's what causes a lot of problems with girls. If they ever just sit down, we did a program not last week, a couple of weeks ago, and we had a program called Reflection of Our Petals. And what we did is we had a program that linked the daughters back to their mothers. And you find out a lot of things through that collaboration of hurts that's been neglected and overlooked for years. And they just really kind of have that stuff buried inside of them. And so it was a program that opened up that channel of communication. And with girls, a lot of times, you know, they focus on boys that don't have mentors. You know, but girls, that boy don't have a father, that girl don't have a father either. So even in your family, now you have a girl. And if your absence comes, well, people automatically look at the boys. But that girl don't have a father either.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I made up in my mind, you know, my kid, I'm gonna always be there for my kids, regardless of, you know, if I wasn't with my wife, then it would just make me get my kids more than what, you know, anybody else
Right.
would, because I'll take my kids all day. And I'm a big kid, you know. I might be feeling it the next day, but you know, my kids say we want to go to flight deck, we go to flight, I jump right along with them. 27 years old, acting like I'm 17,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm doing it for my kids.
Right.
It don't matter about me.
Right.
It's what they'll remember,
They'll remember
that I did with
Yeah.
them.
He gonna remember he pushed you in that pool.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
he
I let
fell
him
in
fall
with you.
behind me.
Yeah.
I played with him. He
Yeah.
had on the floaty. So
Yeah,
I was
floats,
like,
yeah.
He was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I know you secure because I bought you the one that goes around your chest and your arm. They're the same. So it's,
Right.
if
Yeah,
that
he
don't
gonna come
work,
up like
yeah.
a cork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't go on there anyway. But I was just looking at that because he was pushing you and pushing you and you was doing this here. But those are things that kids remember.
And then, you know, I let him do the countdown. He said 1,
Uh,
2, and then before he said 3, I moved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about
Right.
playing. Like, if you can't play with your kids, then what's the point
Yeah.
of having kids?
Mhm.
That's why when people are like, well, why don't you have your kid? I didn't have my first son until I was 24. When I was, 24.
Mhm.
And it was like, why don't you have them 2 years apart? Because I have my kids 2 years apart, all of them, because I want to grow with my kids. I don't want to get too old to where I can't play with my kids when they want to go out and play.
Right.
They have to go play by themselves. Well, now I can grow up with my kids and play with them, play sports, get out there, play football, soccer, you know, play tea time with my daughter, you know,
Yeah.
do what I'm supposed to do. So,
How do you all manage, you know, the home life? Because you have most times when you have multiple careers, you know, there's people that do 2 jobs, but 2 careers is different than having 2 jobs. Because now you're managing a career over here and then you're managing a business. Most people work at businesses and have 2 jobs. So how do you all work that?
but you know, I try to involve my family in everything that I do, which is why, you know, I like the fact that my kids love singing. So when I'm downstairs recording in the studio, you know, they'll be right there. You know, I'll record something, I'll play it back. You know, they'll tell me if they like it. And people start dancing. You know, they'll repeat it. You know, when I was doing Whoa, you know, everybody say Whoa. And my youngest son, he'll point, Whoa. You know, but that made me feel good because now he's learning.
Jeff Osborne have the woo woo song. He said he recorded it and he took it home, and he did the same thing you did. He played it with his kids, And they said, Dad, play the Woo Woo song. It wasn't titled that. It was titled something else. That's how the title came. Because the child said, play the Woo Woo song. And he called his producer, hey man, you got to change that song. And called it the Woo Woo song. And that's what they entitled it. And
Yeah,
it went to almost number one.
Like now, so the Holy Ghost Party. I made that song. I made the beat myself because I couldn't find the drumline beat. So I went back to high school days. It started with the trumpets, the tubas, and then it came in with the snare drums and the cymbals. So, but the goal was to get people moving. I did a show, and I thought it was gonna be a young crowd, but everybody in there was, they were up in their late 30s, early 40s, 50s. But you wouldn't know that by the way that they were interacting,
Mm-hmm.
And I was at a church, I say, if the Lord has done anything for you, you ought to lift up your hands and say. I didn't say nothing after that. I just went to the next verse. But when I went to the church, they was like, hey! I was like, oh yeah, I have to incorporate that. So now from here on out, when I do the song, I always do the chant first, And y'all repeat after me. I tell them how it go. Like when I did TCC, they was like, he just basically told us the song. So when I start performing the song, everybody out there,
Right.
when that part came up, you can hear it. Hey, that felt good to me because now I know y'all feel my song. Y'all moving, y'all dancing. That's the whole purpose. It's for me to bring the music of today into God, so they see that it's nothing wrong for dancing. It's nothing wrong with dancing for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in church, everybody think you're supposed to yell. You're supposed to, they ask me, are you a yeller? No, I don't yell. No, that's not my style. I sing. For the ones that do yell, that's their style.
That's their style.
But I want to be different. Everybody yell. Like, I don't want to yell.
Yeah.
I want to be the smooth singer. When they see, oh man, he got that R&B feel for real.
Yeah.
Like they tell you sound like Tyrese. Everybody say that. But
Yeah.
that's good that I sound like him, but at the end of the day, I sound like me because I can sing with my song no matter what I put on it, and I sound exactly like it.
Right.
Because I train myself to know, I repeat what I hear.
Mhm.
Let's go back to the shower. You train your ears to the sound that you hear, and then, but that's the gift God gave me.
Do you when you go in and record sometimes, I know sometimes people think they need like another sound. It's artists always call it, they call it growing. They call it growing, and some people change their sound and just mess up everything. But do you stay steady on what your style is, or do you go in and you say, I'm going to branch off a little bit here because you want to grow the audience or get to some other listeners?
So, then speaking of that, somebody was like, yesterday was like, man, that's auto-tune on your song. I'm like, yeah, it's pitch correction. It's different between auto-tune and pitch correction. Pitch correction is just to pick up your notes when you're low.
Right.
He was like, but one thing I can say, when you sing with your song, you sound exactly like that, even though that is, and
Right.
that goes to show that that's my voice that God gave me. That's my gift that made me different.
Mm-hmm.
Is that no matter what I put on the CD, if I sing with the CD,
You can groove to the tune of the song.
Yeah.
When you're singing, and that's what what's called. That's why that boy was sitting there when you was showing him the tunes, and he was doing this here. But when you sing, you can sing the tune of that.
Yeah,
that
and,
song.
and I did. When you walk, you
Right.
like, man, you sound exactly
Sounds just like that,
and
yeah.
that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You got artists that put all that auto tune on there, and then when they go to sing live, they don't sound nothing like the
Right.
CD.
Right.
But when I sing with the CD, whether it's auto tune or not, I train myself, and I found the gift to where I can sound exactly like whatever
Right. And follow the
the melody groove.
of
Yeah.
that.
and stay
Yeah.
in the same rhythm.
And stay in the same way. And that's the difference between. So, yes, ma'am.
Because I didn't know if he said he was going to sing a song, so I was going to let's take a break so he can get ready.
Okay, let's take a break. Let's see if we can come back, and we may have a surprise for you all. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in 2 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Eric Dixon. Hey, this is Kevin. We're back live on PowerPlayRadioNetwork.com and Power TV. And we're here with Eric Dixon. And we're going to have a song. Which one are you gonna?
So I'm gonna do my new single that I'm getting ready to release called Trust. So y'all to get it here first before it hits all digital platforms.
So what is Trust about?
Trust is, I lost my grandfather to cancer. But when I lost him, I felt like I didn't have no father figure. But I had to realize I had to trust in God. Trusting in God, He showed me the way. I graduated high school early with my older brother. So for them to call my name before they call his, at the end, it's all God. He helped me through school. He gave me the knowledge to do what I had to do to be successful. Struggling when you don't have money for the rent, relationships, anything you're going through in life. At the end of the day, if you trust in God that everything will be okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we're going to hear Trust. There we go.
God came to me the other night in my dream, and He told me, He said, Eric, they'll never know your life until they first learn your struggle and what you did to get where you were. God.
Okay. I will trust.
Sit over there so you can turn it down. Inches.
Came to me the other night in my dream, and He told me, He said, Eric, they'll never know your life until they first learn your struggle and what you did to get where you were. I haven't always been where I am now. I've struggled to get where I am. So to anybody out there that's going through any problems or any struggles, just remember to always trust in God. fed a multitude with a loaf of bread. I know, I know, I know. He can do it for you, for you, for you. Won't you help me trust in you? I'm gonna trust in you. I'm gonna trust in you. No matter what you want, I'm gonna trust in you. I'm gonna love you, my trust in you. There's nothing too big for you. I'm gonna trust in you. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you.
Woo! All right. Okay. Don't put him on the on the speakers,
I'm the
because
engineer.
I don't know what's wrong with him. Why you know I turn that down?
That's too much.
Right, just two. That was awesome, Eric. Wow, I like your new song.
Yeah.
It's really
Horse
good.
on a horse, but y'all put me on the spot. But when somebody say no matter, when it comes to God, no matter what they say, sing.
Sing.
Yeah, no
Yeah, that was
matter.
right. Yeah, but it's a nice song.
I like
I
it.
say, I like. You're talented with a hook in a song. When you put it in there, you build a song from that, because the hook comes from the concept of, like you talked about your grandfather stuff, but it comes from that, and then you take that bottom and then you build a song out of it.
Yeah, so it's no matter what I've been through a lot of my life, but no matter what I went through, I always trusted in God. When I became grown, 16 to me was grown because I was out of school. I was considered on my own. I strayed away from church. I was like, oh, I'm grown now. I don't have to go because they say go, because I do what I want to do. But sometimes in life, they say you teach a child in the way you want them to go, and you never depart from it. No matter what I did in life, and no matter what I went to do, venture R&B singing, going to clubs singing, I always went back to where I first started, in the church.
Yeah.
So it's always, to me, no matter what I go through, I always trust in God. With music, with business, with life, marriage, kids, it's all trusting. Somebody told me, it's like, well, how do you know God's real? Well, for one, there's two seas, two different bodies of water, but they never mix. What's keeping those two seas from just crossing over and mixing? That's God.
Right.
He created that.
Right.
They say, it's like heaven and hell. They don't mix. You can't be in both. There's a line that you have to draw.
Right.
And only God created that line.
Right.
Because without God, you just have it mixed together. If you're having a whole party, two different worlds, but there's boundaries, there's rules, regulations. He said he built heaven and earth the same. When he built heaven and earth, heaven and hell, he built earth the same way. Where the seas never part, where the earth is gravity, but when you leave outside the earth, you're floating basically.
Right.
So
you got the firmament in between the earth and the heaven.
Well, it's all God's creation. Like you leave outside the universe, it's so many things that we see here. That's just crazy. Like my first time noticing it was when we went to New York in March. I was like, man, it's raining below us, but when we're above the clouds, it ain't raining.
Right.
And that's great. The clouds are just floating. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, what's making these clouds float? That's God's creation.
Yeah, we actually had to fly back from Seattle. We had to go through some turbulence. Guess who was scared?
Of course. I ain't no shame in my game. Yeah.
I'm 27, and the only part that get me about the flight is the takeoff. Like, I'm straight. We're going, good. But when it lift up, there's something about that light. I don't know.
See, I'm with the
Then
turbulence.
when we got to New York, That was my first time in New York. So when we going down, I see the ocean,
Yeah.
and then
The water is right there on the
we going
water.
down, but where the runway?
Where the
at?
runway at?
runway right in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was raining. I was like, oh no, man.
Oh, no.
So if this blood go sideways, I know where we can go,
Yeah.
but in the water.
Yeah, everybody, everybody
Exactly.
has their phobia. See, I don't like to fly a long time over water. You know, if you go to Hawaii, how long am I flying over water?
I've been there, and it's crazy because the lady was like, I got on the plane, I got the window seat because I like to look. We're going to crash, I need to see.
Me
She
too.
was like, well, if you sit here, sir, it was the exit.
Right.
She was like, I always sit by the exit. She's like, well, if you sit by the exit, you have to be willing to help other people out, or you can't sit there. So my mom like, okay, well, I got two decisions. We're finna go over water. He said we could possibly drown. So I can tell her I'm gonna help the people, or I
Yeah.
can just move. Well, no. I said, yeah, I'm gonna help him out. But then my mama, no, they playing first door open. I don't work for y'all, so
Right,
you can't
right.
take me to jail.
Right.
No, I'm on the first floor there. I want to make sure I'm safe.
Yeah.
But flying to me now, I love flying. I can't wait to go somewhere else. But the one thing I want to do, but I'm just scared.
Skydive?
No,
Oh,
I
I was
can
gonna
do that ships, cruise. Like my wife want to go on a cruise. I can go on plane. We can fly over water, but for me to sit out there on the water, nah. And I think first it was the Titanic that I watched in school. No. But then, I kind of got over that. Then I watched that movie Poseidon. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then, you look on the news and you see, well, the cruise ship was being drug in by 2 tugboats.
Yep.
But how many days did they have to wait for them boats to get there?
Yeah. And one thing about that on the cruise ship, you stuck there.
Yeah,
Stuck.
You stuck there. And every time we run out of, you can't take a shower and run out of food and all that kind of stuff. But it's just the
And don't get
methods of
sick.
transportation. Just the method of transportation.
Yeah.
A lot of times, that's why I drive. Now, if it's going to be over 4 hours, I'm not 4 hours. If it's going to be
8
over
to
8
11,
hours,
yeah.
then I'll probably just
Fly.
fly there. But I'm not.
Depending on
I'm
where
not
we're
a person
going.
that just jumps on a plane every time I get ready to go somewhere.
No.
Yeah, I can't do that. They coming out of the sky too much for me.
Yeah, I told her, I said, man, I'll fly before I get on the boat. That's me. I'd rather.
That's me too.
If I'm gonna die, I'd rather die fast than to watch myself die. You can drown. We're going down. What we gonna do? Jump?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay on the boat till they go down.
Well, I'll get on a boat before I get on a roller coaster. I'm not doing it. But we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back with okay. I'm listening to it. And he's gonna do another. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. We'll tell you. This is Power Play.
To the song coming from my heart, please just listen. To the words coming from my mouth, take my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit, Lord. Oh, and you can use me like I know that you can. Listen to the song coming from my heart, listen to the words coming from my mouth, take my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit, Lord. And you can use me like I know that you can. They said a man ain't supposed to cry, but what about Jesus when he walked 1,000 miles? They tied up his hands and his feet when they got him to the cross, but he held his head up high and he cried for you and for me. So just listen to the song coming from my heart. Please just listen to the word coming from my mouth. Take my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit, Lord. Whoa, and you can use me like I know that you can. Listen to the song coming from my heart. Listen to the words coming from my mouth. Take my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit. You can use me like I know that you can. My God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with Him. All power in His hands. My God is an awesome God. My God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with Him. All power in His hands. My God is an awesome God. Listen to the song from my heart. Listen to the words coming from my mouth. Take my mind, my body, my spirit, Lord. Oh, and you can use me like I know that you can.
Well, all righty. Thank you, Eric, for that song. Beautiful, beautiful. Is one of these songs you're going to sing on America's Got Talent? Or are you going to do
When I
a
make
different
it
one?
past the audition,
Uh-huh.
listen to be the one that I do live. See, I like doing it live. 'Cause I don't like singing with the CD because when I listen to when it's singing with me, I get thrown off because I'm used to being singing. I want people to hear my real voice. So what I sing with when I do shows is just the background.
Yeah.
So you know it's me singing.
Right.
But with that, I can lip sing all day. But if I sound like a CD, you won't know. But if I do it actually singing, then it's me.
Right.
But he wasn't lip singing. He was singing. That's why, But hey, Shonda. Hey, Belinda and Terry Stewart. Okay. We're going about time.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to wind it down, man. We just appreciate you coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Always.
And like I said, we're a great supporter of you, and
Just remember, when you make it big, where you got your first start. You're on your way.
You're always gonna be my mom and dad.
Yep,
Okay.
you're on your way. So hey,
When my mom get tickets, you'll get tickets.
we appreciate that.
we want to thank everyone for listening.
So tell them where you say you're going to be here doing some events.
August, the first week in August, I believe. I got to get back to him. He's supposed to give me more detail, but I got asked to go on a tour with a group from Detroit. So they'll be in Houston and Dallas the first week of August. So when I do get those dates, I will let them know, and they can let y'all know. But September, I'll be in West Texas. October, I'll be back in West Texas in my hometown. And then the big one that I need everybody to go vote for me on is December the 14th is America's Got Talent. You know? When I go on there, it's not about, to me, it's, you know, most people say we're supposed to have the winning mentality. I do have the winning mentality. But at the end of the day, if I was to go home later in the show, man, I accomplished what I went to do. So I'm happy either way, win or don't win, because my goal is to share my gift, my life with the world, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Right. And also for us, on September the 14th, we have a golf tournament for our organization, Tomorrow's Purpose Youth Literacy Organization. It will be at the Mesquite Golf Club. So come out, have some fun with us, come and play around the golf. Just enjoy yourself. That's September the 14th.
Yeah, looking for teams. It's a 4-man scramble,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna have a lot of fun and prizes, and support our summer camps and our youth literacy program. So if you got a team, come out and support us or call in, and we'll give you the information on that. So September the 14th,
Yeah,
Mesquite Golf Club.
Golf Club, raising money for scholarships.
Right.
Yes. Okay, with that being said, let's get ready to get up out of here. Ooh, are we doing,
No.
okay, good. All righty then. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for coming on our show. And y'all can catch us every first and third Tuesday of the month from 7 to 9.
Don't forget to go follow me on Instagram at Eric Dixon 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you everybody listen to us. Terry, Stewart, call me. And we'll see y'all all on the third Tuesday this month.
Yes.
And this is My Better Half signing off.
Mm-hmm. And y'all have a good evening. Good night.